Hey everybody, today I wanted to talk to you a little bit about your food preps. I'll try to make it quick because I want to touch a few different areas and I don't want to take too long on the video. Okay, so food storage. All right, obviously you have the canned goods as an option on your food storage. We all know that. Now with canned goods, so long as the cans aren't dented, and people will argue this point. I won't get into an argument with anybody about this, but they have about a 5 to 10 year shelf life. We've all heard the stories about, somebody opening up some World War II era canned goods and they were just fine. Well, that's fine. And if you want to take that risk or chance, totally up to you. It probably is fine. But I believe for me, I'd rather err on the side of safety. And for me, I keep it at a 5 year lifespan, 5 to 10 years on canned goods that are not dented. If your cans are dented, don't trust them. Okay, so you have canned goods as an option. And it's easy because when you go grocery shopping, you can cycle through these things and rotate them on a regular basis, using them for your normal meals if you like canned foods. Keeping in mind that all canned foods, all canned goods are cooked already. If you like that, that's fine. And you can cycle through those. And always, each time you go shopping, just get 1 or 2 extra cans, 3 extra cans of whatever, so that you can restock your shelves and still have food as you go through the week or month with your groceries and preparing your meals. Another way to go is to have a dehydrator or a way of like freeze drying your foods. And canning is fantastic. Now, if I had the money, we'd have a canning system and a dehydrator. Those are my 2 favorite. That's my goal. That's something that we're working on. I have every intention of going that route. But in the meantime, there are other ways that are just as important. And some of this is laid out right here for you guys to think about. Anything you have in your food preps in storage, you're going to go through, okay? It's not going to last forever. So one of the most important things to do is to have a way, if it's a long-term situation where you're having to come up with your own food, is to plant a garden. Now, we all know planting a garden. We know what's involved and the kind of work that's involved. You have 2 routes you can go. You can use heirloom seeds, or you can buy, like I put down here for you as an example, just some store-bought seeds. A lot of these store-bought seeds, though, are GMO seeds. I don't like them and I don't trust them. But you have store-bought seeds that you can go that route. And with those, you can plant your garden, get your yield, and I'm sure everything's fine. However, once these vegetables or whatever you plant come up, the seeds that they contain you can't dry them out and reuse them. Okay, they're not heirloom seeds. They won't grow. They'll die. They'll be worthless. Heirloom seeds, on the other hand, especially organic heirloom seeds, gives you the opportunity when your vegetables come up that contain seeds, you can take those seeds, dry them out, and replant them the next year. Okay? You can always be replanting when you use heirloom seeds, and I suggest very strongly organic heirloom seeds. With heirloom seeds, you have a long-term supply of food coming in. Okay, I didn't bring it down here. I have a container of heirloom seeds. The way that we purchase them, they come in a PVC pipe, a 3-inch PVC pipe, loaded with different types of seeds, all different kinds of vegetables and stuff that can be grown from them. That PVC pipe has a screw-on lid. Some of them have just a pushed-on cap. That is a dark pipe. Light can't get through it. Air doesn't get through it. They're sealed real nicely. And of course, each seed is in a bag that's well sealed. Okay? And they can store for years and years. So long as they're in a dry, relatively dark environment, cool place, those seeds will last a long time. So heirloom seeds is one way, and that's what I suggest because, like I said, this tube that I purchased, one tube will produce a 5-acre garden. 5 acres worth of food off of one just one box of heirloom seeds. Okay, and then that yield each year, you take those seeds, they'll continue. Dry them out, you can continue to plant and have more crop coming up. Okay, another way to go that I think is super important that a lot of people don't do. Now this, myself personally, I don't find this an acquired taste kind of thing, but some people do. Sprouts. Okay, what I've got here, sprouts, little here, as a suggestion, I brought some of them out. Now there's things that you need to know about sprouts. First of all, they do need to be organic. Okay, not GMO stuff. They need to be organic. Secondly, they need to be sealed very well and kept in a very cool, very dry, dark environment. Okay, light getting to them is not a good thing. Now, I mean, making this video is no big deal. I didn't mind bringing them out here. But you want to keep your stuff in a cool, dry, dark, humidity-free, if possible, environment. Now, what we do, as you can see through this, you can tell that light can penetrate this. However, ever since we started storing sprouts, even though they're in this type of container, we have others that they're not, that you can't see through. The sprouts are in a dark room. There's no windows, there's no light. They're in our basement. We run a dehumidifier in the basement to keep the humidity out of it all the time. And it's very cool down there and dry. So that's how you should keep your sprouts. I got these out just to show you a few examples. Garbanzo beans. This is a lettuce, green lettuce sprouts. This one here is a 5-pack of mixed types of vegetable sprouting, seeds there. Excuse me. Here you have radishes. Here you have green peas, bean salad mix, lentils, just different things. Now, the deal with the sprouts, what I like about them so much is they're really high in protein, very high in vitamins, depending, of course, what seeds you get, what sprouts you're growing. Very high in vitamins. They're excellent for your metabolism. They actually fight against some forms of cancer. They're really good for your skin. Just very, very good for your physical health. Sprouts are great. Now, what are sprouts? For you that might not know, I'm sure you all do, but if you don't, a lot of times when you go to a nice sandwich shop, if you ever go and buy sandwiches for lunch when you're out about doing things, a lot of the shops will offer sprouts. That's just that leafy, moss-looking stuff. Sometimes they look like little stems and little flowers on the end of it. It's just that leafy green sprouts that they put on the top of the sandwich with everything else. If you don't like that and you find that an acquired taste, I would suggest strongly you learn to like it, because it is very, very good for you. And if you're in a situation where, unfortunately, it has become some kind of disaster and you're having to grow your own food, health is the name of the game, and you can't get a whole lot healthier than sprouts. So it's good on almost any kind of sandwich. It really just puts a moisture to the sandwich. There's moisture within the sprouts themselves, and a crunch. It kind of makes gives sandwich a little more of a crunch than just mushy lunch meat and cheese. So just kind of like lettuce would do. So sprouts are very important. Okay, next, I'll get off that topic. Besides sprouts, next thing to do, we've talked about canned goods, planting your own seeds, sprouts. Another thing you can do are these buckets. I just brought a couple things down to show you. These buckets like this, now there's all different kinds of brands, okay? This is like Chef's Banquet. These buckets generally contain 30 days worth of food for one person, okay? So that's a route that you can go. Now, when you buy stuff for survival foods and food like this, or MREs, things like that, when you purchase them from stores that handle primarily prepper type supplies, it can be expensive, okay? No doubt about it, it can be expensive. The things that are in these buckets they're a freeze-dried type food. You have to add water to them. which brings up a few things. One, the good thing is they're freeze dried, so they have a 25-year shelf life. These buckets can be opened. The lid can be taken off, at least on Chef's Banquet. The lid can be taken off. They have it's called, I believe it's Meta or Mega Life bags, foil bags that the food is kept in, each individual packet. They're resealable. However, because if they're not opened, the lid being opened on this and taking something out and close it, it doesn't affect the shelf life. They're still good for 25 years. The packets are resealable, but once you open them, then those packets need to be used within a very short, reasonable amount of time, because they will not have a 25-year shelf life, whether they're Ziploc type bag or not. They take a lot of water. It's great because they're lightweight. You can store a lot of them. You can store them on shelves. You can store them in the bucket, whatever. You can store a lot, and they're very lightweight. However, they take a lot of water. That being the case, I would strongly suggest having a rainwater catchment system of some kind, whether they're rain barrels or you set up something very elaborate. Rain barrels are cheap, but you do go through a lot of water. So if you have this kind of food, and let's say electricity is a problem or something, water, being able to pump water can be a problem. But if you have a rain barrel catchment system around your house and you're storing that rain barrel water, you'll be good to go. The only thing you have to do is just either boil the water or run it through like a Berkey filter system or whatever. Just purify that water, then you have all you need for this kind of food. Now, storing these buckets takes up a lot of space. Okay, they're light, but they take a lot of space. That's something to keep in mind. Also, the cost. These buckets are expensive. I'm not going to say they're not. Buying something like this, they're costly. I would suggest purchasing things like this at Costco or Sam's, something like that, when they offer them, because it's a lot cheaper than buying from a prepper type supply place or a place from like Mountain House or whatever. Those kind of foods, they're expensive. So if you can get them at a discounted rate somewhere, and you know that it's still quality, that's the way to go, in my personal opinion. We have several of these. I'm very glad we have these. We have the sprouting options. We have the seeds that I told you about, the heirloom seeds option. And of course, we do store canned goods as well. So those were just some things I wanted to share with you. Now I'll tell you real quickly what's in these buckets that I have. Every system is going to be different. They're going to have different types of foods, whether they're entrees or they're just something side dish type thing. Every bucket's different. Every manufacturer puts different things in them. However, on this is an example of what's in here. First of all, it's, like I said, 30 days food for one person. There's no MSG in any of this food. There's no high fructose corn syrup in any of this food. And it's based on a 1,600 calorie a day diet. 1,600 calories a day diet. That's what these buckets are based on. In here you have chicken vegetable soup, 15 cups. Hearty potato soup, 15 cups. Beef vegetable, 15 cups. Cheddar broccoli, 14 servings. Instant potatoes, 14 servings. Alfredo sauce, 18 servings. Cheddar sauce, 18 servings. Pasta noodles, 68 half-cup servings. Hash browns, 20 packets of hash browns. Chocolate whey drink, 30 servings. Regular whey drink, it's kind of like milk, but it's not. 30 servings, at 8 ounces a serving. And then orange juice, breakfast orange juice, 30 servings. So that's quite a bit of things right there. That's quite a bit in one bucket, quite a bit. So it's great. I like them. It's definitely an option. If you can afford it, it's an option. So I just wanted to share those things. I hope you find them helpful or something that might spark your interest into looking into them for your food preps. All right. If you like it, thumbs up. If you don't, thumbs down. I can take it. If you do like what you're seeing, please subscribe to the channel. We're getting it off the ground, as I say in each video. We're like 113 subscribers or something. We're just getting going. Check that bell up in the right-hand corner. Click that and you'll get notifications anytime we put out a new video automatically. If you do like what you see, please tell your friends about the channel and talk them into liking and subscribing. Okay, that's it. Thanks a lot. I appreciate the feedback that I've received with the channel so far, and I always enjoy the interaction and talking with you guys. And until then, we'll see you next time I get a video out. Take care. Bye.